Seeing the different parts of a spaceship, examining an astronaut's spacesuit, and even touching a tiny piece of the moon. All that is possible for visitors at the Intrepid Museum's interactive exhibit called Apollo, When We Went to the Moon, located in New York. The exhibit is housed in a large pavilion on the deck of the aircraft carrier Intrepid, a National Historic Landmark docked in New York's waterfront. The exhibition's curator, Kate Good, says it's the first such large collection of all things Moon and Apollo missions in New York City.
There's a spacesuit that's further over behind us. That's an American spacesuit that is the first that ever had life support. This is a helmet that's been broken down into its pieces.
There are plaster casts of American astronauts' hands that were needed to make their space gloves. As part of the Apollo program, U.S. astronauts landed on the Moon 6 times between 1969 and 1972. But the first mission remains the best-known one, as well as the names of its 3 astronauts, Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
In a world where cars can now drive themselves, it's a bit of a shock to see the things that the astronauts had to do with no help from computers.
So this is a control stick. This is the effectively joystick, as what kids would know.
Basically.
Yeah, basically, to be able to use the thrusters to adjust where they were going once they were out of the atmosphere. The book is the checklist for what they needed to do to leave.
The exhibit also pays homage to the space race between the US and what was then the Soviet Union.
That was the space race. Who could really make the better capsule? Who could make the better rocket?
The spacesuit of a Soviet astronaut and a real Soyuz capsule are also on display. Rulers and compasses that belonged to the Saturn rocket airspace engineer Wernher von Braun, recording of speeches by Khrushchev and Kennedy, and archival footage of the first flight to the moon. All these artifacts submerge visitors into the atmosphere of the turbulent and revolutionary 1960s. The exhibition will be open to the public until September 2nd. For Evgeny Maslov in New York, NRI's VOA News.